Good morning and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here this morning with Frankie on her graduation day and Rich. And what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is Frankie's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and lots of motivation that we give the dogs when we're working with them and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand. That leaves his left hand free to give a little tug and release on her martingale collar as needed, as a little tiny reminder that whatever it is you're doing is incorrect. Now she's sitting very nicely at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. Heeling is proper leash walking. She's walking nicely on Rich's left, matching pace with him, not forging ahead or lagging behind, and each time that Rich stops his feet or changes pace, when he stops, she should sit automatically without being told. So because you live in such a busy area, when you're walking with her on the street, she should be focused more on you. You see her looking up at Rich, paying attention, and sitting nicely when he stops his feet. And every time he stops, she sits and looks up at him. It's so cute. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the sit stay. Stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. You're going to start out with about 15 to 30 seconds and work slowly up to 3 minutes. When Rich returns back to her, he just walks back to her shoulders, turns, and they're back where they started, and everything starts and stops at heel position, and Rich gives her the heel command and they take off heeling again. So we haven't just worked on housebreaking, we've worked on a lot of things, and she's learned lots of new skills. And she is adorable when she's doing them. Lots of socialization for her, as she tends to be a little skittish with strangers, as I saw when I picked her up. So again, here is your sit stay. This helps to develop focus and self-control. And this time, instead of returning to her, Rich is doing the come command. She comes in and she sits facing your knees. And then she goes back to heel and back sitting. Very nicely done. And off they go. And you noticed earlier when Rich slowed down and sped up, she did the same. So if you're walking slowly, having a conversation, she should always match your pace. If you speed up to a power walk, she does the same. And then again, those automatic sits when you stop. And see, he was going pretty fast when he stopped his feet that time, and she was right on point. Rich is going to use her name. He's going to lighten his tone of voice, and she comes right in and sits. And he tells her, good girl. And she goes back to heel and back sitting. Very good. Now we're going to demonstrate the series of down commands. These are a little bit harder. She's having a blast, and that's what we want. We want the obedience training to be fun, because then you're going to practice. Now the first down is the down from a heel position. So with her seated at your left, always seated first, left open palm straight down toward the ground on the one-word command to down and stay. Again, this is a self-control exercise. You can practice right in your apartment. Start out at about 30 seconds. Work up to 5 minutes. Rich praises her for a good job, because she has to know that, you know, this is fun. You're not being punished. You're having a good time, learning new things. Nice automatic sit. Remember, always have her seated first. Down and stay. And this time Rich will call her out of that and have her sit. Very good. So she's a smart little whip. And the very last command that we're going to attempt with her, which is not probably her favorite, but we're going to do it, and at least you'll get an idea of how to continue on, is the down from a distance. So when you start out doing this command, don't go the full length of your leash. Just turn and face her. You're going to use your right hand to give the command, and she goes into a down from a distance. And Rich gives her the stay command. So that was really good for her, and Rich calls her out of that. Now, we have demonstrated for you all of Frankie's formal on-leash obedience commands. Rich has given her a treat for a good job, as she likes to eat. And she has done a fabulous job here at school. We'll go over all of your information on crate training, house training, getting her off those pads at home. We've had a blast with her. She's a fun little dog, and we're going to see you in a few hours. Thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.